Hello guys, it's Rosa Hart. And we're back to Cinderella. And I have some caramel candy. Num 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 num. Mostly because I like caramel. Another reason I have it is it actually because it might not help, but at the same time, it will help make me feel better. I took a nap when I kind of fell asleep, which is fine. I'm still stuck inside my own mind, shifting thoughts, my troubled thoughts. I cannot recall the fact that the wicked witch who led the witches during the war was my mother. I did not even realize how many people hated my mother till after she passed and they spoke about her, how cruel a queen she was. I never understood why, since she has always been the perfect person in my eyes. I never considered my mother with the Phenomeron, but what Peripheral and DeLorean just told me made sense. Was I living a lie all these years? A lie that my mother crafted so that I remained cold and bitter even after she passed away? But DeLorean and Peripheral said I am meant to inherit the power of the term from my mother. I do not want that burden. I almost bumped into Robert's back when he suddenly stopped walking. He turned around and looked at me with a serious expression. I can't help but feel judged beneath the weight of the gaze. If you're going to tell that you never wanted me as your partner because my mother was a witch, then I wasn't going to say that. What? I won't lie, the first time I saw you, I thought you were like your mother. You were cold, harsh, and selfish. I never wanted to have anything to do with you. That was why I was so against this partnership, but you changed. Rod's expression softened. As you and M has grown closer, I've seen that you are not like your mother. She speaks fondly of you, and I can tell she really enjoys your company. That's why, even if I do not have plans to break my curse, I will still do what I can and to help you break your curse. It's the least I can do as your partner. I stare at Rod in shock. This is the first time he has ever been so nice to me. Why are you staring at me like that? I'm only doing this because you're important to my sister. Look, he's blushing. Rod turned away, his face beet red. Liar. Thank you, Sebastian. Rob reaches up to pushy Sebastian's face. Ow. Comfort him. Or thank him. Thank you. Thank you. I got him to blush again. Rod turns away, his cheeks dust pink. It's not a big deal. I'm only doing this because I see how delighted you are to break your curse. Because I want to get my old life back. And now that they have told me about my mother, I want to prove that I am nothing like her. Anyways, I still want to help you break with Your curse, Rod. Why do you refuse to break your curse? Rod stares down at his feet, especially Melody. Because I cannot. Rod stops and shakes his head. He says nothing else, and I do not prod him anymore, especially not after seeing the displeased look on his face. We walk through the courtyard back to our rooms after we say our goodbyes. I wonder what Rod was going to say. Mother, look! Alma got me this gift. And Nurin? She is a maid, my friend. Princes don't make friends with their servants. But she is really nice. She even taught me how to braid my hair like... Those servants are only nice to you because you are the princess. They only pretend to be your friend so they can power over you. But it would never... What reason do you have to lie to you? What reason do I have lied to you? When have I ever lied to you, little one? You've never lied to me. That's correct. Tomorrow, I will remain in this situation and will hire a new maid. You are not befriending this one, no matter what she says. But Mother, are you arguing with me, Rose? No, I'm sorry, Mother. I did not like this Mother. It has been days since Pervigio and Dora revealed my mother's true nature and followed responsible. I have on my shoulders once I turn 18. It has been trying to ask the king about my mother, but he is even busier these days than he was before. It is important to find a single moment in the day to speak with him. The fact that I am a maid makes it even harder to gain his attentions. When I am not on break, I continue to do my duty service, and right now I am accosting her as she practices her walk and properness. Erin has been helping me point out any mistakes she finds. I know how hard this is. I had to go through the training as well before I married the king. And it allows her shoulders to shrug as she let out a expression sigh. This would suck. I'd always hate these lessons. I had thought my posture was fine. This is supposed to refine it. And yet all these lessons have been doing is hurting my back. Well, and you get the hang of this. You just need to keep practicing. But Mother, I had the same lessons before. Why must I do it again? Because you slouch when you walk, and this is unbecoming of a princess. Anne grows at her mother, and Anne frowns, falls away as she bursts into laughter. Mother, you're not helping. The conflict in the room is far from heavy, as Anne and her mother continue to consider these lessons. It's almost the second option of the lessons I had with Mother. Mother always got angry when I made even a small mistake. I know this is hard, but as the crown princess, all eyes will be on you during the ball. The people there will judge you any small mistakes you make, which is why you need to be in top form on that night. I'll die. I would just die. Oh no. And claps her hands. Alright, now to start again. And groans before heading to far wall and stretching her back. She takes a deep breath, putting a book on her head and begins to walk again. The books fall from her head on her third step. She sighs, moves back, and starts from permission again. Neither of us and continue by speaking. We stand and by and watch as she tries time and time again. Autumn's rise when Autumn leans towards me and begins to whisper. Rose, I've been meaning to say this before, but I am grateful that you are friends with my daughter. I look at Autumn's smile face with surprise. I never agreed to be her friend. You're not against the princess making friends with her servants? Why would I be? I actually wish more of the staff here wouldn't be so uptight, since I'd love for them to be on good terms with the people who serve her. Besides, social status is never aversion to friendship. Autumn shifts her gaze back to him, who is now picking up the books has once again fallen off from her head. No matter your current or status, a friend is always a friend. You give Erin the courage she needs to face the many challenges she has ahead of her. In a way, you're like family, since you're always around us. Like family. Come what may, both families and friends are there for you, and will accept you for who you are. Even before I was cursed, Erin was always trying to be my friend. That means she knew all along who my mother was, and still wanted to be my friend. The thoughts made me remember what Peripheral told me about Mother, threatening to kill Erin if the king did not marry her. I turned to her and curious. Your Majesty, may I ask what you know about the late Queen's rule? Erin looks at me questioning, so quickly I add the thoughts lies. I was not an adjutant and have only heard stories. I just thought it was so hard to believe that's how peaceful things are in the palace right now. The kingdom was a dark place back then. People lived in fear under her rule. The king had no real power over Elise. The witches had freed our kingdom. They cast the fairy curse instant on a whim. We barely left our house in fear of becoming cursed. When I read was that terrible, the king still beamed himself from the darkness. That's before during the fall. This is why he worked day in and out to situate the court and to put smiles on everyone's faces. I learned long ago how he told me one of the reasons he would always continue working hard for the king was because he wanted to make a brighter tomorrow for his children. I look confused for a moment, then brushes off the awkwardness with a small chuckle. He helps the family in his own way. Is it possible that he said that with me in mind, and I slipped up? But then maybe he always refers to Nimrod. The kingdom come a long way since then, hasn't it? There are still witches here and there, but most of them don't bother others. I pray that the peace we are exposed right now will last. I see. Thank you for telling me. It's a bit of a direct talk, but I'm happy to help. If you need anything else, please don't hesitate to call on me. I know it may not be a term polite for a queen, but then I do not concern myself as a typical queen. I try my best to listen to everyone here's requests of what their title or name might be. I can only nod at her response. Princess or maid, the way Irene has treated me has never changed. She always treated me with kindness, regardless who I was. I never saw it before. I was always so direct from everyone. But now I see that Aaron treats everyone here with kindness, regardless of social status. I was always frustrated by the servers when they complimented Aaron to Mother, saying she was superb. But now, I think I understand why they would make such compliments. Aaron turned me after my lessons, and I began to hear and back to my room. I had just turned a corner when I noticed Sir Adam standing before me, scrolling. "Watch where you're going, child." I quickly asked my gaze, not wanting to confront him. He always looked at me so straightly. Always like he sees into my mind, or is trying to. I apologize, sir. Sir, nod his head at me before walking off. You are pardoned, princess. What? I don't expect you to know. That's not good. You're not supposed to know. You're not an option to date, and I know that much. And even if you were, I wouldn't want to date you. You're too cruel. This leaves a problem. I turned to stare after him, but he already had turned the corner. My blood becomes cold. Was that just a slip of the tongue? But how else could he know that I am princess? Is it possible he is cursed? No, somehow that does not seem right. But if he does not have the fairy tale curse, could he be the witch that Dora warned me about? What reason would he have for unfurling his innocence then, unless he wants to end me further? It occurred to me that Francis still remembers who I am. Did he tell his father about me? Now I am even more confused about who I should trust. Rose. I jump when I hear Rod call my name. His face slowly cuts with something that looked like worry. You're pale. Did something happen? Would he believe me if I told him? Rod is trusted. Tell him. Sir Alan knows I am a princess. Do you think he is the witch Laura was talking about? I whisper the words to him, and he responds by raising an eyebrow, looking surprised. What makes you say that? This isn't just because of the stiff way he acted, is it? You don't believe me? Rod sighs. I never said that. I didn't. It's just that we can barely just blindly assume anyone without any real proof. Rod stared at me for a few moments, then closed his eyes, slightly frowned with thought. I always remember who you are. I do not want to be suspicious of Francis, but I don't think blindly trusting him would be right either, given those circumstances. You need to stay firm around him. If anything happens, you come talk to me about it. You worried? You're worried about me? Rod just escaped from me. Of course I am. Wow, you're actually being honest. Oh, Sebastian! What? Rod glanced at Sebastian before pinching his cheek. Anyway, I must leave now. I have a dance to practice for. Dance? But you already know how to dance. What do you have left to practice? Rod does not answer and only walks. I decide to follow after him. Why did you follow me? I shrug. I want to see your practice. To be honest, I want to see him dance. I already know that Emily is very clumsy when it comes to dancing, but outside of one practice with Emily, I have never seen Rod dance. Emily always groped on his behalf, but I've yet to see what Rod Sprouse tell with his own eyes. Our dance career was short. I barely had time to judge him. I do not practice with an audience. Why? It is my profession. Rod is easily embarrassed. Rod grows and pinches one of Sebastian's cheeks, growling. Sorry. Rod regards reaching the bunny with a sigh. I noticed you've been talking more lately, Sebastian. Oh, that's because Rod here has been saying things that concern what he thinks or feels. That makes a sound of defeat as Rod once again pinched one of his cheeks. Rod stares at me with wide eyes, and I stare back, beginning to panic. What is it? Wrong? You're smiling again. I put a hand down to my mouth and flushed her. I was smiling again. I've never even noticed. It was a pretty smile, Princess, right, Rod? Rod quickly turns away, cheeks slightly pink. Aww, he's blushing again. Just admit to your feelings, Rod. You like me. I need to practice now, so I would appreciate you leaving. He did not even complain me to leave. What a surprise. And said you were a really good dancer. I want to see with my own eyes. Oh, what to do. I'm sorry. This one I have to be in. I have to get this one right. I want to be there and see him dance. I'm sure I'm a better dancer than you. I'm not here to judge. Shroud's face deepens. I almost smirked. Maybe he realized to show me. But Rod is also full of pride. He is most likely to show me if I propose the challenge. You didn't even answer the question. And you are assuming my understanding my dance. The others may have forgotten, but you still remember, don't you? Do you not? I am a princess. I was taught by the Kado the best instructions. I said the words with pride, and I noticed Rod's lips twist in response. It actually makes me feel confidence to get under Rod's skin when he's usually the one getting under mine. Having the best shrugs do not automatically make you the best dancer. I am perfectly confident with my own skills. Say what you want, but I will refuse to believe you without any proof. I still say that I'm a better dancer than you are. I got it right! Yes! Rod stepped forward and pulled me suddenly into his arm, taking me by surprise. He looked at me, clearly determined. Determination! Fine then, you'll have your proof, and I'll make you swallow those words with this dance. We shall see. Nah, 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 nah. I'm the best person ever. Rod stared leading the dance. He glanced us into main rim of a waltz. Even without the music, I'm able to count the steps in my head and follow his lead. This is different from the shorter dance we showed Emily. Rod's moves are grateful, his touch gentle, as he lead me an unrunning twirl. Aww. Cute. When I come to face him once again, I notice the gentle way he stares at me. The unusual hardness of his expression is gone, melted into something relaxing. I find myself staring back, looking into his eyes. Perhaps Rod does not have some gentleman of him. Our gaze do not break as he twirls me. You have beautiful eyes. Rod, you actually said something instead of Sebastian. Rod's eyes widened as soon as mine do. He's able to let go of my hands and step back. I only stare at him, my face warm. It wasn't me this time. Sebastian's going like, no, don't do anything. I didn't say it. This was more than just a thought, I swear. Rod says nothing, though his cheeks continue to darken with embarrassment. Oh my. Rod and I turned to look at Aaron, who hovered by the door. Excuse me. Rod quickly walks through the doorway and out into the hallway, leaving Ellie and I alone in the room. What just happened? What a wonderful dance, Rose. You were watching? I only just saw the last few minutes, but, you know, the two of you really did look like a couple. It's sweet. And awkward if you knew he was my stepbrother. A couple? Oh, you're blushing. I put a hand to my cheek and turned away with a scowl. I am not. Besides, whatever just happened was embarrassing. Do you like Rod? I stare at her. I do not. Also, you are forgetting that I am a maid who could not be with a prince, even if I wanted to. He's grumpy and cold. And even though we are not blood related, he is still my stepbrother. If only Emma realized how crazy her words were in light of the truth. Emma suddenly looks straight eyes as she giggles at me. Love knows no bounds, Rose. Besides, he seems to like you. Your brother hates me. Rod can be a complicated sometimes. Sometimes he says the opposite of what he feels. It's only when you get to know him as well as I do that you realize what his truths are. I cannot help but think Sebastian, who always speaks Rod's thoughts aloud when they are confident. He was always so mean to Victoria when we were young. He would always bully her for being a crybaby, even though he cried far more often. But then I realized that he treated her more specially than he did anyone else. Back then, I knew what he liked her. I thought that one day the two of them might even grow to love each other, but Ellen let out a small, long sigh as she turned her attention out the window. His attention towards her had changed ever since he was cursed. Then he grew even more distant when Victoria found a lover. Is that the reason why you have been going to the toy shop with Prince Rod? Because you want to bring them back together? And nods. The three of us were best friends. The three musketeers. It's not the same without Rod. I keep asking him what's wrong, but he refused to tell me. He's always being stubborn, but it's not like to keep secrets. It's really frustrating because I have no idea what I should do to help him. I thought he was just being stubborn with me, but apparently no, not pondering, even from his own family, will make him budge. Why is he being so difficult? I hope you do not mind me asking. But what do you know about his curse? Em stares at me for a few moments before nodding. You are my friend, Rose, and I know I could confide in you. I know that sometimes I am not trusted enough, but I think Em is far too trusting. We only know that he has the mermaid curse. I read the story so many times, hoping that I could find out some way to break his curse. I think back and I realized that I actually read the beginning of The Little Mermaid a long time ago, but I did not have a chance to finish it because I was caught by Mother. The Little Mermaid is about a mermaid who traded her voice for legs, right? Yes, that does it so she can be with her prince. Rod's voice has been taken away, but I'm sure that he was given something else in exchange. We hear that the curse are served from the orange hotels, but that they can push in some way to fit a form of a curse. I nodded slowly and thought. I have a strong feeling that Rod's curse related to Victoria, but I cannot draw the conclusion. But still, Victoria might be the key to understand his curse. If Rod will not discuss anything, the best chance we have of understanding his curse might be going through Victoria. Alright, that's it for today. Our question of the day is, have you ever caught your fly down? Peace, guys.